Hi, fellow humans, and welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I'm going to read to you. We are reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and we're on chapter 7. Fuck yeah. We passed a few sad hours until 11 o'clock, when the trial was to commence. My father and the rest of the family being obliged to attend as witnesses, I accompanied them to the court. During the whole of this wretched mockery of justice, I suffered living torture. It was to be decided whether the result of my curiosity and lawless devices would cause the death of two of my fellow beings. One, a smiling babe, full of joy and innocence, the other far more dreadfully murdered, with every aggravation of infamy that could make the murder memorable in horror. Justine also was a girl of merit, and possessed qualities which promised to render her life happy. Now all was to be obliterated in an ignominious grave, and I the cause. 1,000 times rather would I have confessed myself guilty of the crime ascribed to Justine, but I was absent when it was committed, and such a declaration would have been considered as the ravings of a madman, and would not have been exculpated. Execute-patated. Her who, okay. Fucking, what is that word? Exculpated. Exculpated. Oh, no, I'm adding way too many fucking letters in there. Exculpated. That sounds great. Exculpated her who suffered through me. Great, we got there. The appearance of Justine was calm. She was dressed in mourning, and her countenance, what is this fucking countenance? I still don't understand. Gosh. Always engaging was rendering by the solemnity of her feelings exquisitely beautiful. Yet she appeared confident in innocence, and did not tremble, although gazed on an execrated. That's, I guess I'm just bad with those exo words. What the fuck? Execrated by thousands for all the kindness which her beauty might otherwise have excited. Excitement was obliterated in the minds of the spectators by the imagination of the enormity she was supposed to have committed. Right. She's the monster. Thugs. She was tranquil, yet her tranquility was evidently constrained, and as her confusion had before been adduced as a proof of her guilt, she worked up her mind to an appearance of courage. When she entered the court, she threw her eyes round it, and quickly discovered where we were seated. Boom! A tear seemed to dim her eye when she saw us, but she quickly recovered herself, and a look of sorrowful affection seemed to attest her utter guiltlessness. The trial began, and after the advocate against her had stated the charge, several witnesses were called. Several strange facts combined against her, which might have staggered anyone who had not such proof of her innocence as I had. She had been out of the whole night on which the murder had been committed, and towards morning had been perceived by a market woman not far from the spot where the body of the murdered child had been found. The woman asked her what she did there, but she looked very strangely and only returned a confused and unintelligible answer. She returned to the house about 8 o'clock, and when one inquired where she had passed the night, she replied that she had been looking for the child, and demanded earnestly if anything had been heard concerning him. When shown the body, she fell into violent. Now the word here is violet. Now, is this a misprint? I think I have a bad copy. I'm gonna have to do some comparisons. This is ridiculous. Okay. Violet. Let's just say the word is violet. Hysterics. And kept her bed for several days. The picture was then produced, which the servant had found in her pocket, and when Elizabeth, in a faltering voice, proved that it was the same which an hour before the child had been missed, she had placed around his neck. Oh, okay, so she had this locket, I guess. Convincing. How did she get the locket? The picture locket was then produced, which was the servant had found in her pocket. And when Elizabeth, in the faltering voice, proved that it was the same which an hour before the child had been missed, she had placed around his neck, a murmur of horror and indignation filled the courtroom. She's a fucking murderer. Oh my god, yeah, she's a fucking slut. I heard she's fucking did it the whole fucking town. Yeah, even me, I'm a dad. Yeah, that fucking slut. Yeah, the fucking stupid ass. Where are we at? And then Justine was called on for her defense. Everyone's already fucking proven. You can say all you want, but we don't believe you. As the trial had proceeded, her countenance had altered. Surprise, sorrow, and misery were strongly expressed. Sometimes she struggled with her tears, but when she was desired to plead, she collected her powers and spoke in an audible, although variable voice. God knows, she said, how entirely I am innocent, but I do not pretend that my protestations should acquit me. I rest my innocence on a plain and simple explanation of the facts which have been adduced against me, and I hope the character I have always borne will incline my judges to a favorable interpretation where any circumstance appears doubtful or suspicious. She then related that, by the permission of Elizabeth, she had passed the evening of the night on which the murder had been committed at the house of an aunt at Shane, a village situated at about a league from Geneva. On her return at about 9 o'clock, she met a man who asked her if she had seen anything of the child who was lost. She was alarmed by this account and passed several hours on looking for him. When the gates of the Geneva were shut, she was forced to remain several hours of the night in a barn belonging to a cottage, being unwilling to call up the inhabitants, to whom she was well known. Unable to rest or sleep, she quitted her asylum early, that she might endeavor to find my brother. If she had gone near the spot where his body lay, it was without her knowledge. That she had been bewildered when questioned by the market woman was not surprising, since she had passed a sleepless night and the fate of poor William was yet uncertain. Concerning the picture, she could give no account. I know, continued the unhappy victim, how heavily and fatally this one circumstance weighs against me, but I have no power of explaining it, and when I have expressed my utter ignorance, I am only left to conjecture concerning the motherfucking goddamn fucking words, concerning the probabilities by which it might have been placed in my pocket. But here also I am checked. I believe that I have no enemy on earth, and none surely would have been so wicked as to destroy me wantonly. That is it, wantonly. Did the murderer place it there? I know of no opportunity afforded him for his doing so. If I had, why should he have stolen the jewel to part with it so soon? I commit my cause to the justice of my judges, yet I see no room for hope. I beg permission to have a few witnesses examined concerning my character, and if their testimony shall not overweigh my supposed guilt, I must be condemned, although I would pledge my salvation on my innocence. Several witnesses were called who had been known for her many years, and they spoke well of her, but fear and hatred of the crime of which they supposed her guilty rendered them timorous, and unwilling to come forward. Elizabeth saw even this last resource, her excellent disposition and irreproachable conduct, about to fail the accused, when, although violently agitated, she desired permission to address the court. Oh, what is this Elizabeth to say? Let us just continue that another day. We'll do a part 2. So if you want me to keep reading, please check out some more videos. Like, subscribe, and comment down below.